I think we should be live. I mean, not according to my phone, according to my computer. Those are two different things. Welcome! But I'm so awkward when starting stream. I have genuinely no clue what to say ever. Hey, welcome. I'll start talking about what we're doing, but as I said, like, I'll wait until my phone tells me that we're streaming. That's when Twitch tells me we're streaming. And it is now. Awesome. Yay, welcome. So yesterday and the day before I played Danganronpa. Yay, chapter 3. And we're at the class trail. Yesterday we investigated the 2 dead bodies of our poor not so innocent classmates, I guess. Maybe innocent, who knows. I'm saying there's something very suspicious going on because whatever the fuck Celis is saying is total bullshit, and if Hifumi's corroborating it, even if he's dead, he's also, you know, sus. Maybe he committed suicide, what do I know? Maybe he hit himself with a hammer on the head and then washed it. That sounds so stupid. But whatever he's doing is suspicious, right? So, anyway. Oh, I don't have any other skills? I was hoping I did. Shucks. Oh well. Anyway, we did that yesterday, the day before we did, you know, the actual story and finding the bodies and whatever. Yesterday we investigated, and we're like 99% sure it's Hagakure who's the culprit, but given that this is Danganronpa, that's not gonna be the case. Hagakure is gonna most likely live forever. I don't have an issue with it. I just want the one person I wanted to die no matter what already died. I'm happy. But I guess without further ado, this is the open handbook, I don't want that. Without further ado, I guess we can get to the class trial itself. I would give a recap of you know, the investigation or the who's dead, but that's what the class trial is for, I guess. They have to first recap so that, you know, everyone is on the same page, and since a lot of them, I mean everyone minus one person is very dumb, it will take a while to get the recap, so let's get started. Hello, welcome! Trial, all right. Why do I have to read that?
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
No, wait, really? I didn't expect that after the first 2 class trials.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Woohoo, graduation.
Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Yeah, it was obviously you. That's why you want to stop this class trial as soon as it starts. I'm on to you, Asahina.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
I'd like to make it clear once again. No matter what all of you seem to think, Kirigiri does not in fact have an alibi for either of the 2 murders as far as we're aware. Why does everyone think that because Kirigiri wasn't there when the quote-unquote attacks happened that she's innocent? She's not. We don't know where that woman was for the majority of the game.
Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
Poor guy.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
The best person to say that! The murderous fiend herself!
Who are you calling a murderer?
Yup.
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
I mean, the evidence is very compelling, but also take into account that you think that Yasuhiro of all people managed to pull this whole thing off, and I don't think he's got the brains for it. I mean, I'm not saying he's stupid. I'm just saying he's not an engineer or overly bright. He did have to repeat high school like 3 times, so I think that should tell us something.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Just kill him already.
I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer? Or for anything else? So we have to make that clear. Ooh, non-stop debate. God, I don't remember how to play this game anymore. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. It was Leon. Yeah, it's always Leon. Yeah, I did put this on the baby difficulty, didn't I? Yes.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Oh. Next time I need to slow down.
I don't know
can
anything
slow down
about
with the
that
R
stuff.
button, I'm pretty sure.
It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second.
I have 10 million green reasons for you. I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awful messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is...
Everything we found in your room.
The blueprints?
No, wait, wrong button.
They are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
It's not true. It's a
Hero, why?
no. Just hold on a second.
I am not good at this game, okay? I need to use like 3
Everything
buttons.
we found in your room.
And I suck.
The blueprints,
Blueprints.
they are all proof enough
Come on!
that you are the culprit.
God damn it. I'll get
It's
there
not true.
eventually.
It's a
I will
hero,
eventually
No.
shoot the
Just
message.
hold on a second.
I do. I mean,
Everything we
it's
found
kind
in
of
your
hilarious
room.
that I'm literally
The
on the
blueprints.
easiest possible difficulty and I still cannot
They
get
are
this.
all
Yes!
No, that's wrong.
Attempt number 4. It worked! Thank you.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
Oh yeah, totally, indubitably.
What do you mean?
It's indisputable.
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
Okay, I'd like to remind, because this is bizarre, I'd like to point out once more that Alter Ego, the AI created by Fujisaki Chihiro before they died, was kept in the bathhouse, because that's the only place without cameras, because we don't want Monokuma to know about this AI. Let's try guessing which bear is also in this class trial with us, in front of whom we should maybe not be mentioning Alter Ego. You guessed it, it's Monokuma. Why are we mentioning Alter Ego? You could have just said, hey, this is the note Hiro gave me to meet up like yesterday night or something, because that is actually what happened. You don't have to mention Alter Ego, you're just making this worse on yourself. You're such a dumbass, Naegi.
The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say?
I mean, if you say so.
When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
You could. One time they really tried writing nicely and the second time they didn't. Or vice versa. They have a really nice handwriting and they tried to write really shitty that one time. It's not that hard. I can write like very nicely if I want to, but my default is barely legible. So, one person could write that. I mean, yes, he would need to have foresight to do that, and once again, it's Yasuhiro, he's a dumbass. But it's not impossible.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
Thank you. Thank you. You're still sus, and I still think you're at least like accomplice or something, because again, very sus. Though I think she does have alibi for the murders, but still very sus. But she's got a point.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Because the martial artist knows what she's talking about when talking about handwritings.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
That is also true.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
No, and I know it because Naigi's the culprit. Kill him now.
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Ooh, Byakuya's on our side. I don't think that's a good thing. But Byakuya's on our side, yes! We're still in the minority, but we're getting there.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
Oh no, that was Hagakura.
Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
Doubt.
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Do it, Makoto! I know the answer, but do it for me anyway. We're here again. And of course he passed it off to me. At least Nagi realizes it.
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
It was you, shut it already. The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit? The Illuminati.
I got it!
All of the
Other than
Illuminati
Hero,
put together
I
wearing
can't
that
think
suit.
of anyone else it could have been.
Yeah, fair.
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
The second suit was just very well hidden.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
Yeah, he didn't do it because you couldn't move it. The robe was just a suit. He couldn't open it, he couldn't close it, he couldn't move his fucking limbs.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
Yep.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
Oh, plot twist.
What?
And that means that the only two people who saw Robo Justice suit are suddenly very suspicious, as if I haven't been saying that since the beginning, Celeste.
Now that's a bold assumption.
Fair.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Obviously he has a reason. Tell them, Nagi. Tell them what Byakuya's reason is.
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
Shut it, swimmer girl.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
Time of death, time of death, time of death. I don't know why, but I really think that should be it.
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
Nope, we're talking about the stupid trolley. I was complaining to my sister just earlier today that they weren't so bad yesterday, but the fucking trolley. If there's a trolley in, location A, and a dead body in location A, and a lot of blood in location A, and then there's, the same body in location B, and the same trolley in location B, and the trolley has blood on the wheels, what could that possibly mean? Fucking Draw the Explorer bullshit. This is not an M-rated game, this is Mickey's Clubhouse.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
It was a pulley.
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Nike. God, this should be a drinking game. Every time we start a class trial, we should all get something to drink, whether it's alcoholic or not. And we just take a sip or shot or whatever every time someone says, tell them, Nagi. Best part of the class trials. The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been... where's the trolley? I mean, they called it dolly, but still. Celeste, Robo-Justice. Did I skip it already? Yeah, I skipped it. Was it in the Monokuma file? Oh no, the repository dolly.
I got it!
Yeah, the Monokuma file moved it. I mean, it would make about as much sense as anything else these people could possibly say. Yeah, the dolly and the blue tarp.
I got it!
Because bloodstains.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Yep. Tell them, Naegi. How could you possibly be such an idiot and think this? What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain.
No, you can't.
Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right?
I mean, I'd say it was laying on a blue tarp, but close enough.
It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body.
There.
That way,
Makes sense.
they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Yeah, but there wasn't any tarp under Hikumi's body. What could that possibly mean?
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Well, human bodies are shockingly heavy, so it's much easier to, put it on a dolly and roll the dolly than to actually physically carry the body.
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there.
You know what? I make fun of Naegi a lot, but I have realized, I don't know, half an hour ago, then he's pretty impressive with his recall. Like, he can recall exactly how a room looked at a certain point in time. So we found Taka's body there. I know there was Turp. I know there was a dolly. Apparently he didn't see Fukawa's body there, but that's not the point. With Hifumi, he could tell the difference in the glasses. If you see a dead body, I don't think glasses are what you should be concerned with, but he noticed it anyway. I'm pretty sure he's got photographic memory at this point, so bonus points to him, I guess.
But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
Yep.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository,
The dolly was in the repository with bloody wheels.
so did the dolly.
Dun dun dun. Sorry, I need to stop this.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right?
Yeah, he does.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Ooh, provide your counter-argument.
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room.
It would be really strange, wouldn't it?
Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
Ooh.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
Shut it, bitch!
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Oh, that's a great friend to the guy that, saved you in the first two trials. No one expects much from you anyway. You're the one pulling the class trial and presenting like 99% of the evidence, but no one expects much from you anyway.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
She's saying exactly what I think about Nagi, and I love her for it. Well, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change her mind. No, you can't. She's saying the correct things, Nagi. You're a complete dumbass. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added to the bullet time bells. I don't even remember what the bullet time bells are, so yes, I would like to hear more. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time bell, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo, oh fuck, is this thing already? I'm really bad at this game! Bottom of the screen, under the tempo, you'll see the ammo counter. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy opponent's statements, but from now on, just locking on and pressing the X button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you're out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload pressing the Y button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the Y button in time with Tempo Maker. Basically, just remember that the Y button now has the function along with A and X. Oh god, you automatically reloaded the start of the fever time, your ammo will not decrease, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle... Oh, thank god! This minigame is already borderline impossible for me, okay? I don't need to think about reloading as well. I think I have gentle difficulty at least. Oh, thank god.
You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst!
Do I not have gentle difficulty?
You miserable wretch! I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst! You have it wrong! I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst! You miserable wretch! I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
How the fuck did this one go? The last time I had to play this minigame, I failed it like 3 different times.
If you're asking for proof
And
that
this
the
one was
dolly
even
moved,
harder.
I have it right here.
Wasn't harder, the reloading was there, but I don't think this one was particularly hard. I guess there will be one more toward the end of the trial with the culprit, and that should be harder. We'll see.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
Only one of them? I could have sworn it should have been 2.
There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that
Yeah.
matched the dolly wheel's tread.
There were 2 trolley marks, so I would just like to point out there should be at least 2 bloody wheels. It's not important, it's just smallest details sometimes really piss me off with this game. I need to stop being so pedantic over this.
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room.
Yeah, the killer is very incompetent.
And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Like the idea that if the killer just mentioned it, or like noticed it and wiped the blood of the wheels or something, I would be like, yeah, I can prove it. I guess I'm fucked. Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much? Yes.
Well, anyway,
And you deserve it.
that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if
Yeah,
it's not a
justice
killer
for
robot,
Robo-Justice.
then what kind of robot is it?
Have you considered it not being a
I'm
robot
not
at all?
sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
Because he's dumb?
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will...
Sorry. It will be obvious immediately, I think he said. If I look at how the body was moved, it will be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Yay, non-stop debate!
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Does that make sense?
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
We just established
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it
I
off,
think
right?
this is the one where I should shoot, but let's
Now,
wait.
keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Huh?
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is
And
bend.
here we go, Asahina. Oh, the wrong button.
No, that's wrong.
I tried shooting with the B button this time. That was the first one. I usually do it with the A button.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low.
However,
But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
I mean, I guess you could bend at the waist and keep your body really... Not waist, hips. You could just bend at your hips and keep your back straight, I guess?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Oh no, you can. I'm as blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight. Yeah, fair.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist.
I mean, I guess he could like kick the dolly along, but I don't think that happened.
Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Yeah, it would.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
I did consider that.
When you can't even see your feet?
Also, yeah.
You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
I mean, theoretically, yes. Practically, it's very unlikely.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
And she wouldn't know. She doesn't bother, pushing away the bodies or anything. She just hangs them up.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body
yeah, that
in a
is
tarp.
true. You would also need to bend to wrap the body. Either bend or bend your knees, and you can't do either of those in the Robo Justice suit, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Aha! There's absolutely no chance that a costume was taken off just to move the body because Hiro's not strong enough, you can just take it off yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid freaking thing! There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. Yeah, and then it took him like
true.
30 minutes to take it off.
It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Yeah.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Again, it took all of you guys like 30 minutes to get him out of the suit. I don't think he was bluffing.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
Fair point.
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
I mean, they already suspected him, but he wouldn't have known that. We haven't met him until we discovered him in the Robo Justice costume inside of a locker instead of the swimming pool. That's a location.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
It couldn't have been a person in the robot suit who moved the body, and since we already established Hiro was in the robot suit, it couldn't have been Hiro, I think.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
You mean Transformer hugging Hifumi? The picture you took after... So, the picture you took after you stalked him up onto the third floor from the first floor, and then you slightly opened the door, and then he hit you with a hammer, but before that you begged for your life. So he hit you with the hammer really lightly, and before you fell unconscious for like an hour, you took a picture. That picture. I would just like to I just wanted to recap the situation. Thank you.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
Dragged away, I don't know. I see Robo Justice hugging him.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
They're besties.
Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Hearsay. How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
I don't know. I still find Hiro and Hifumi's whole story very suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Can I see the blueprints once more? True bullets. We should have the blueprints, right? I'm thinking about something. Yes, Heroes, Robo Justice blueprints. Yep, this is suspicious as all heck because it says Robo Justice right there, which means either Yasuhiro really made these blueprints, which he didn't, we already established that. And Hifumi just coincidentally knew the name, or Hifumi made these blueprints and he's in on this robot thing. Because the Robo Justice is right there, and in what we just saw, he was like, it's a name I came up with just now. Thank you. I rest my case.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Yeah, tell them, kitty kitty.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it.
No, if we were Monokuma, he'll just kill us all.
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
Like the possibility that Celeste and Hifumi are lying?
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
Let's try.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
I like the idea that Deepa are so against Jack that even if what Jack says makes total sense and they agree, they're gonna purposefully be like, I won't say I agree, I just don't disagree, you know, being in the negatives no matter what, even if they agree with Jack.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
She was sleeping in her dorm. She didn't want to deal with us peasants.
All right then,
She and her
let's take
brain cells
another
have
look
taken
back
brain
at
from
what
us.
happened. I suppose we could start with this morning.
Ooh.
4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Not really. As far as we're aware, you found Celeste, and then we lost Giri Giri at some point. She didn't come running when you screamed, but neither did Sakura, so... Then when Kyoko went missing is a term I would not use, but sure.
Soon after
she went
that,
missing. We
Hina
lost
found
her.
Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
Really? She screamed and Makoto ran up.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume.
Yeah, she did keep calling him Strange Man the whole time.
As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi.
According to Celeste. And again, her story
We were
is
soon
more
joined in our
more than
search by
elemental.
Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library.
Because Sakura was awesome and heard his, pig squeal. No one else did, just Sakura.
He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect.
We actually took him to the nurse's office, then we left, and I'm pretty sure it was Sakura who said, hey, let's go look for Giri Giri, because the mysterious assailant is still there. And then Celeste saw a shadow at the top of the staircase, woo! Which we assume is the mysterious assailant, Robo-Justice.
But not long after leaving the nurse's office.
Yeah. Celeste saw him. What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor.
Given that at that point we didn't know where Kiyotaka was, where Kirigiri was, and where, not Hifumi. Yasuhiro, that's his name. I keep forgetting his name. And where Yasuhiro was, that could have very easily been one of those 3 and not Robo-Justice. But they were like, oh, Celeste saw Shadow, it must be Robo-Justice. Who else could it possibly be?
And soon
The
after
logic
that,
in this game is impeccable.
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
I'm pretty sure what she said was that she was on the 3rd floor for whatever reason, and that she met him at like the staircase, and she yelled and was blocking the entrance, so he had to run further in. They're very robophobic, but it doesn't get brought up until like the 3rd game for some weird reason. Hey, welcome, Globby. Celeste, what's wrong? That was rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. I still have the question of why the fuck you were on the 3rd floor when we were all searching the 2nd floor, but I think that will be addressed soon, because we're in the class trial finally, so our questions will get answers.
and then,
And then the piggy squealed. Huh? What was that? That came from the downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi is in the nurse's office. Okay. Good to know that... Initially, I thought the one who was like, it must have been Hifumi was Celeste, but apparently the one who was like, Hifumi was Nagi, because, again, it's not like we don't know where 3 people are. Let's ignore him. No, this isn't a replay. This is my first playthrough of this game. I just know what happens because I watched the anime, and then I watched playthroughs of the 2nd game, and then I watched playthroughs of the 3rd game. But this is the first time actually playing through it, so... New stuff, technically. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect.
It was Toko at that point. I was thinking if it was Toko or Jack.
When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
Dun dun dun!
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
Yeah.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the third floor
Yeah, because...
to let the others know what had happened.
Yeah, Hina was feeling really squeamish and didn't want to leave, I think. Which doesn't make sense to stay around the dead body, but she didn't want to leave. So Celeste was like, I'll stay with her. You go tell the others on the top floor. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm trying to recap this for myself
we had
as
just
well.
discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
Yeah.
We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time.
Yeah.
Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
Fair?
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi.
Yeah.
Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office.
3 because they left Fukawa laying unconscious with a dead body.
But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Naegi cannot tell us that. He needs to bring up the flashback.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
What actually happened is that Naegi and Sakura apparently forgot that they left her there, but Byakuya was like, I knew all along. If she dies, it's whatever. That was a fun one. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies.
Searching the school is a word. I don't think anyone left the 3rd floor.
And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
And heard another body discovery announcement.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
It does.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
But then someone planned it.
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them.
Okay, tell me more, Kirigiri.
Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. Oh, it's when he died, I'm pretty sure. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what. God, this game has awesome music. Yay, baby difficulty!
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Yeah?
Or perhaps it was after?
This sounds
We
kind of
already
awesome.
know what order they were killed in.
Do we know?
Taka came last.
Really?
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Right.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3,
And presumably?
while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
And presumably.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The Justice Hammers were numbered, but... were they really used in that order? It could have
So,
been used
regarding
in
Taka's
that, they
death,
could have been numbered so that we would think they were
I
used
wonder
in that
if he
order.
died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
Wait, we're using Monokuma file, right? I want to read what's in the Monokuma file just to be safe. The victim's cause was blow... okay, the cause was blow to the head.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
The murder weapon, I guess?
Because of the numbering of the Justice...
Wrong button. No, it's not the numbering then. I love that I have the big difficulty and I still cannot figure this out. Okay, let's try again.
So, regarding I wonder if he or perhaps it was we already know Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the number.
It's true that he flew while Taka's death came.
See? So it's obvious Taka came
Oh,
after.
I'm supposed to absorb, I think. Wait, how the fuck do I
So,
absorb again?
regarding Taka's death,
Here's the help. Influence gauge controls. Aim, silencer, fast forward, open handbook, fire through bullets, select bullet, concentrate, open help. Wasn't there absorb button somewhere? Aim, silencer, fast forward, open, fire, concentrate. Oopsie. Influence gauge, concentrate, fast forward, weak spots, finding truth bullets. Press the X, loading truth bullets, hold down L to open your truth cylinder. Quick select. Truth bullet flashback. If you target a weak spot, hold down the X button, then you can. Okay.
I wonder if he died before,
Or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the number.
It's true that he flew while Taka's death came.
See?
Yeah, I think I
So
need
it's
to
obvious
absorb
Taka came
Asaina's
after.
first argument and to shoot it at Asaina's
So,
second argument.
regarding Taka's,
If only I
I wonder
figured-
if
if
he
only I
died
figured
or
out to
perhaps
do
it
that.
was
I
after.
almost
We
got it.
already know.
What order they were killed
Killed in.
Okay.
Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the number.
of the Justice Hammer.
No, that's wrong.
Screw you, baby difficulty!
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
Yeah, technically they could have been used whenever.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
I mean, that's the only way it would make sense, right? Because we heard Hifumi squeal. So we know he needs to be alive when he squealed, right? But at the same time, Taka would have already been dead. I think since they were just running into... Since the other group that was on the third floor just ran and found his body. I mean, maybe not, but it would be super convoluted if Taka wasn't already dead.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. Oh god, Hangman's Gambit. At least this isn't chapter 2 anymore. So. Oh no, I have the... Whoopsie. C, over here. H, anywhere H. Wristwatch, I want a wristwatch. Where's the H? There's no H. Over here. At least
Now
this
I
is in chapter 2,
understand.
though. Hangman's Gambit for chapter 2 was horrendous. Mainly because of the word choice that they had.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
it must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
His wristwatch was totally fine. Hey, you! How long are you going to keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the good little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And
There.
that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
Yeah?
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
Yeah?
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us.
Because you were so concentrated about the Justice Hammer numbers.
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those Justice Hammers.
Curse you, Justice Hammers.
That's exactly
It's
why
all
the
because of
culprit wrote the
them.
numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Yeah, that is true. Because no one has an alibi before 6, only between, 7 and 8, I'm pretty sure.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
Yeah, and Jack wasn't peeping at Byakuya washing his underwear yet either. That was Jack and Byakuya's alibi, by the way. He was in the laundry room and she was stalking him.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
Presumably.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Presumably. Yeah? Huh? What was that? The kid from the downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's still in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. I should stop reading this at this point. This is like the 4th time we got this specific flashback.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko.
Finally, someone acknowledged that Kirigiri doesn't have an alibi for the murder.
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
No, all of you didn't run down to the nurse's office. Half of you did. I get your point. It's just a weird way to say it.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know, trash can? Has someone other than me checked the trash can?
I don't know.
It makes so much sense. What? I have no evidence. It's just what I think.
Don't just go making stuff up.
You make stuff up all the time.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream.
Yeah, but did he die when he screamed?
Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared.
Yeah.
When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Nagi was like on the way to the equipment room, I guess, but odds of him doubling back and stealing Hifumi's body, very low, especially given that it is Hifumi, and carrying that person would be challenging. I mean, like a normal human weighs what, like 60-70 kilos, somewhere between that. Let's say between 50 to 70 kilos. That's really heavy. Hifumi has to weigh at least like 150, so no way is anyone whose name is not Sakura carrying him anyway. Just saying, very sus. Plus, it's to the 3rd floor from the 1st floor. Super sus. They don't have elevators, let's point out.
And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room.
So, just anyone carrying Hifumi's body is bizarre no matter how you look at it.
At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Are you saying you did it?
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Yeah, it's physically impossible.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
We have 2 people working along, the culprit and an accomplice.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
Damn it. I was cheering you on too, Jack.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi, or on the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared. So they most certainly could have done those things.
What was the dialogue I accidentally skipped? In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or removed either of their bodies. Yeah, Kyoko and Hiro could have done it.
So what now, Kyoko?
Oh, I forgot he speaks.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
I still don't understand how the fuck anyone could have carried Hifumi. As I said, like, maybe if they cut his body into pieces and carried the pieces, but even then that's unlikely.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
Thank you. How the fuck did anyone transport Hifumi's body from the 1st floor to the 3rd floor? Physically impossible.
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
Thank you, only smart person in this whole class trial, or just school in general. You are my saving grace.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing.
Yeah, again, no matter how I shit talk Nagi, I would like to point out he did in fact notice and point out every single time I interacted with Hifumi's body that Hifumi's body is very large, so moving him would have been very hard. Just to point out, Nagi did notice that.
And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though.
So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
It would seem so.
Also, Nagi never notices it, but there's no like drag marks or anything in the blood, which there would have been if someone dragged Hifumi, so they would have needed to like physically lift him. And also, he didn't have tarp underneath him, so he could have just, you know, dropped blood all over, but that also didn't happen, so just to point out, this is getting more and more impossible.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Okay, wait, I have a thought. Report card. This may be slightly mean, but I just really want to know how heavy he is. He's 155! I mean, I was slightly off, but more than 5 kilos, yes! Look, he's heavy. It wasn't important, I just really wanted to know that.
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
It's the truth! It may be rude, but it's the truth.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Please say more.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
He's a zombie! Fuck yeah! That's why Asaina's resurrection tears worked! He was a zombie all along!
The dead body moved on its own?
Zombie!
No! Not another... ghost!
Of course it's not a ghost, it's a zombie. Don't mix the two together. A totally different thing. Ghost is no body, just the spirit. Zombie is dead body walking. Two different things.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is...
No, that's exactly what she's saying. Zombie!
We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Zombies are considered as undead. That could work. He could still be a zombie.
He was alive?
Please say zombie. Please at some point confirm the zombie thing. I know it's not true, but it'd be so cool if we had zombies.
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
Yeah. Got up, got blood over his glasses, and walked out. Sadly enough, he's not a zombie.
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Did you check his pulse or something?
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Is it not? The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? Broken wristwatch. Oh, I need to observe again, I'm pretty sure.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Yeah, sure, why not?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Again, we didn't check the pulse or anything.
And you know that how?
No.
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
Yeah, but there was only one of them.
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once, but Hifumi and Tuka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time. Also, I know I said this before, right? When their bodies were rediscovered in the Archon repository, there was another body discovery announcement. So we have 2 bodies and 2 body discovery announcements, but so it would make sense if Hifumi and Taka were quote-unquote found at the same time, that Hifumi could be alive, and the second body discovery announcement was actually his, like, original body discovery announcement. That's a weird way to put it.
Are you
Saying that when we first found there's a chance he was...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely
You heard the body discovery announcement along with Hifumi's dead
That body had been
found. And that is
why the announcement.
Are we really so maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Next time! I have the...
Are you
Saying
saying
that when we first found there's a chance
he was actually...
no.
It is impossible. Hifumi was
Dead.
without.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard
The body discovery announcement.
Hifumi's dead body.
body had been found.
Yeah, my health isn't looking great.
And that is why
The
the
announcement.
Are we really so sure? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
What? What do you mean?
Shoot!
Okay, my health is looking
Are
really
you
bad. I
saying
think
that
we're
when
dying.
we first found
Hifumi in the
nurse's office,
there's a chance
he was actually still alive?
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
Without a doubt. And you know that. Surely
You heard the
body discovery.
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
And that is why the.
Are we really so
wait, am I
sure?
supposed
Maybe
to?
the announcement was intended to signal someone
do this?
else's discovery.
Can I transfer the bullet to the other timeline?
Are
I
you
can.
saying
that when we first found there's a chance
he was actually...
No.
It is impossible. Hifumi was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's
He's dead.
Body had been found.
This is what I do
Yes,
best.
it's wrong.
I time travel to the past to contradict you, Celeste. That's
Was
what
the
I
body
do,
discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Who knows?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
No, really? It's not as if we were told that before. Sorry, I need to stop doing this.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
Yep.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
Or both of them, I guess. Because we thought for now that it was for both of them. They were found so close to each other that Monokuma was just like, let's give those losers one body discovery announcement. They don't deserve 2.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Yeah, fair.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
How dare you insult our brilliant headmaster? He would never do something so lazy.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that
She's a mind reader. She's a psychic too, just like Sayaka was.
it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
Yeah.
That didn't answer our question, man.
I mean,
we're asking if you're a lazy bum.
It answered my question. There were 2 body discovery announcements. Everyone just keeps forgetting about the second one.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Thank you, Togami.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
He's saying the thing. I mean, there's a non-zero chance he would just turn around and be like, tell them Nike, but he's saying the thing.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Oh yeah, you were still asleep, weren't you, Jack?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Finally someone realizing it. I can't believe it was Nagi, but I guess he had help. I can work with help. The second body discovery announcement, the first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. And the second time was when Echo's found unconscious, when both bodies were rediscovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
yeah, thank you, Headmaster. You're helping us solve this murder very easily. But you're helping us solve this mystery. Yay! Cheers for our Headmaster Monokuma. He's the best. I mean, he wants all of us dead, but cheers for our Headmaster. After a center point, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually
Freshly dead.
being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
No, just faking it, that asshole.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh yeah, Naigi's, what is it, photographic memory comes back now.
Oh, I know!
Oh?
Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
She's so cool, but she's so wrong.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
You said it, lady. Jack's awesome.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
I mean, it's not a proof, but it's like... It's a point toward him being alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Again, not proof that he was alive, but a point towards it. It's certainly more likely that he was alive than that someone managed to physically carry him from the first floor to the third floor. Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
That is true.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom,
He disappeared.
his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body,
Was in the Archer repository.
it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Then, was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible. This is
What did you say,
ridiculous.
lady? When Hifumi's body was found in nurse's office, yeah, there's some point of conflict.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi, and then, well, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his
Body, it was
in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved,
Other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Don't go. Yes! It
No,
didn't
that's
go!
wrong.
Maybe difficulty and I
In
still
fact,
struggle.
there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
Yeah, the rest of us that either didn't see his body in the nurse's office or that don't have photographic memory.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository,
The glasses were clean.
they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Yeah, that is true. The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was... the new glasses. Glasses cleaning cloth.
I got it!
The one with the magic
It was a
girl
glasses
put in or
cleaning
whatever.
cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
His favorite.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean.
I mean, it's not like certain evidence, but it's all like, it's all close enough to making sense that we're like, yeah, this makes sense.
And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
Yep.
And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
Of course.
the character was Princess Piggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
How do you remember that?
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
There.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Byakuya, who would never be caught dead having that. Jack/Taka, who would never be caught having that. And Hifumi. I'm pretty sure those are the only people with glasses in this school.
I wouldn't be caught dead
the-
using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Even including the dead people. Yep, they wouldn't be caught dead, told ya.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Yeah,
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
by default.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
That Hifumi is the accomplice. Or the murderer. I mean, he still could have killed Taka at like 6 a.m. and then committed suicide in the repository. Technically, that's not impossible. I mean, it is because we didn't find the, thing that killed Hifumi, but... Okay, fine, he's the accomplice.
What I'm saying
I
is,
still wanted to
the
go the
blood on
suicide
his
route.
glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
No, but if he was dead and someone carried him, then why the fuck would they clean the blood off of his glasses? That would be... I mean, it would be smart thinking because it would make us think that he, was alive, but it would be meaningless.
But
Literally
who would
meaningless.
benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
Yep.
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet.
God, you're so smart.
And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
Of course! That's the way to say he was top heavy.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
It was blood.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
Yeah, in case there's a vampire in the school and needs feeding.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
Could never happen to Jack. She's a professional.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Yep. The one who moved Taka's corpse was Taka himself.
I got it! It could only
The
have been
dead person
Hifumi.
himself.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
From the inside.
The door was locked?
Yeah, I was there, but no one, not even Nagi remembers it, so... That's Sakura and Hinase it was, so even though Nagi forgot he was there, we have someone to attest to it.
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right?
Yeah.
So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
Yeah, Hina made it very clear when we were talking during the investigation that she and Sakura went right there, like the moment they left. So it couldn't have been anyone from their group of people. It couldn't have been Yasuhiro, because he was, in a suit in a locker in a pool. And it couldn't have been Kirigiri because, I don't know, I guess she's good at immunity or whatever. We have no reason to believe it wasn't Kirigiri. We just think it wasn't Kirigiri? I don't know. Like, the idea that Hifumi was alive and took Taka's body makes total sense. Sure, why not? But we have absolutely zero reason to believe Kirigiri isn't the killer.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yeah, I guess.
I just can't believe it.
Lady, you have seen like 2 of our classmates already kill someone else, and Sayaka was trying to kill someone as well before she got killed. How can you not believe it? I mean, I guess it's more likely because of the rule Monokuma told us that, hey, if you don't kill someone and you're just an accomplice, you get nothing, but it's not impossible. People are dumb.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Yeah, I think it's the piece of paper she found in his underwear.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
And stuck in his underwear. The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka, could it be? Note Hifumi had.
I got it! You're talking
So
about the
coming
note
together.
Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
And his underwear. I still feel like that's important to take note of. This is
Hidden
the
note?
second time Kiri getting molested to the corpse. First time with Fujisaki's and this time with the Hifumi's. I'm just saying she's got a track record.
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
Yeah. By pants they mean underwear as far as I can tell.
What?
Yeah?
In his
Yeah.
pants?
Yeah.
Yes, his pants.
What? Why are you like, yes, that makes total sense. I guess you're the one who also molested a corpse last trial.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now.
Goodness gracious.
Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole. Maybe we can use, I found a hole we can maybe use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Nope. You got a different note because it had a different time and different location. I'm pretty sure the location was different.
Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said
1 a.m. and I think it was rec room. Though the location I'm still not clear on.
Monokuma can't find out, so
Rec room,
don't tell
yeah.
anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I was right, the time and the location are different. The game didn't point out the location last time, it was just the time, but the location was
I
different as well.
see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
Yep,
It's not the same?
Jimmy Cricket.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
Wait, how did I get so many more hearts? I was at 2.
And that person could only have been...
Yotaka.
I got it!
You're the only
That's
one.
right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
And then a different but similar enough note to drag out, Yasuhiro, that's his name, Yasuhiro, and stuff him into the room with just his costume.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
Yes, Jack?
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
Yeah, in his underwear.
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
TikTok is Huffy! I love Jack so much, he's thinking about TikTok and Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Wait, I want to know what Jack's nicknames for all of them are now. That's awesome.
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Yes, the burning it aside, that is hilarious. Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, she's not scary. She's awesome and very funny. I can't let her get to me. What is she getting to? She's awesome. She's not doing anything. She's trying to help you, I think, in her own Jack way. Oh, I have 3 pieces of evidence now. Broken wristwatch, Hifumi's glasses, cleaning cloth. Okay, let's go with the wristwatch.
Huffy had the note, right?
Yeah, Huffy did.
Then the person it was intended for
Should have been Huffy.
must have been Huffy!
That would make sense.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., just like when the wristwatch was broken.
6 a.m., I believe.
What else happened at
The
6 a.m.?
time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Oh, wait. I didn't mean to absorb it. No, I had no idea what you're talking about, but I want to stab you seriously, or I will tear his face off.
Shoot!
I may have... That was a mistake. I meant to shoot that with the wristwatch.
Then the person it was in must have been happy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m. The time doesn't matter!
It has nothing to
The note has nothing to do with...
TikTok!
The way it said it
No,
slow
it's
motion,
wrong.
so funny.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
Indubitably.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered.
Yeah, and it was also in the same location where Taka was murdered. In the not repository, in the God, what was it? The lab storage.
We've
space or
already
something.
proven that using his wristwatch.
Yeah.
But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Yeah, where he was found dead.
Which is where Taka was killed.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note.
Yeah, he came there presumably a little bit early because, you know, you want to come like 5 minutes early to any meeting, and then wham, from the behind, he's dead.
I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
She's a reasonable serial killer.
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
And he fell for it just the same as you, but it, you know, it got him killed and it only got you stuffed in a robot suit, in a locker, in a pool.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
I mean, you know, if they managed to kill Taka and Hifumi and to blame you successfully, they found a way out for themselves.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Apparently stuffing it down his underwear. Why am I so stuck in the
Down
underwear
his
part?
pants, no less!
Exactly. You
Most
get a
likely,
jack.
Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Yeah.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
We actually do have proof for this. Thank you for asking, Gekuya. Proof that Hifumi stole that note from Taka. Wait, wrong button.
I got it!
This one.
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper.
That is not exactly what happened. Kirigiri saw his body, saw that he was holding a scrap of paper, Kiyotaka, and was like, hey Nagi, rigor mortis is already set in, so like pry open his hand and get the paper for me. I don't want to touch a corpse. That is what happened. I just like to point out it was all Kirigiri's idea, Nagi was just the tool she used to get it.
If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is...
Also, Nagi, when he saw this sheet of paper and the one that Hifumi had in his underwear, was like, those are completely irrelevant. And Kirigiri was like, I wonder. So he's bullshitting. He didn't know anything. He didn't put it together until this very moment.
I knew it! It fits perfectly
You
with
knew
the note
nothing.
we found hidden on Hifumi.
But he's trying to sound so smart. You're not! You're getting led along by Kirigiri. She's letting you take the credit.
Then
'Cause she's a nice
Taka's
person.
scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
They were fighting over it and that's why Taka died. Because they both really wanted the note.
Taka died clutching the note.
Yeah.
Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap.
But apparently he's a loser that didn't notice that a corner of the paper was missing, even though it's fairly obvious. But whatever.
Did I get all that right?
Yeah, you're a smart person who did.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the whole not actually being dead but pretending to be dead and then walking away and carrying the dead body away would already sound either culprit-y or accomplice-y, but sure, this proves it as well.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
For sure.
In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Of course he's though. The headmaster would never allow for that. And we did get a second body discovery announcement for him, so there's gotta be 2 dead people.
Sorry, no.
Yeah, no, fuck you.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
Yeah, and if he was alive, the headmaster would never allow a person that's actually alive to not be present at the trial. He's got standards!
The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
Yeah.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
Yeah, that does make sense. He has to be dead before we can find his dead body.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body.
So it could have been literally fucking anyone other than Asahina and Sakura because they stuck together like glue and... Sorry, like gum and hair.
In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Almost.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
She also called you stupid. Are you admitting to being stupid?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
Robo Justice?
And what might that be?
You?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi!
I guess that makes
Weapon?
sense.
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
Yeah.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
Not necessarily.
But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Oh god, that's so mean.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either.
Yeah, because the killer didn't do anything this convoluted. Tell them, Nagi.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
Simple. They didn't. They used a different
Personally,
hammer.
I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Number 10.
Those were accounted for in other rooms too.
Yeah.
And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Number 2 was not actually accounted for because when we went to investigate, or I went to investigate the library, number 2 wasn't there anymore. So unless someone like kept it on them or something, I have no clue where in the world Justice Hammer number 2 went.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
It doesn't have to be a Justice Hammer, true.
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi? The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure it out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. Somehow. Nonce of debate! Spotless hammer. Okay, I'm good at this one.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice
Damn it.
Hammer 3?
Okay, I thought this would be easy.
Shoot!
But it made sense. It was spotless because it was what?
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Hey, Junko.
Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was,
It could always be. It would be
There's
nice to
one
not have to
thing we
deal
have
with
to
the whole
figure out.
Nonce of debate like 3 times
how was
over.
the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did
didn't-
nobody witness them carrying it?
Nice and weakness.
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its
But that could
appearance!
be it. Just as Hammer 5.
Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
I think
And,
send me copies as well.
That's about it.
Okay, so it's not Sakura, so it's either Jack or Yasuhiro.
What was
Used to
There's
kill you.
no-
Was it justice? Maybe justice
But I
happened.
think
Well,
it's
what if
my
there's
health
one?
backwards.
How was the culprit? How did nobody read? Sounds like a Justice Hammer fight!
Can I do Justice Hammer 5? It's the Justice Hammer 5.
Shoot!
Sorry. Oh god, this is bad.
What was
Okay,
used?
we'll go see
Was
how
it
they do.
justice? Maybe justice happened.
Well, what if there's one? How was the culprit? How did nobody read? Sounds like a Justice Hammer! Check out murdergear.com!
Voice just slowed
But
down
the
really
murder
quick.
weapon had
Alright, it didn't have to be one of the Justice Hammers, it could have
No,
been this.
that's wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense. The Soul Devils are fun. The Spin Up
The
ones
murder
too.
weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
I feel like it's similar, like, the sped up or slow down. It's similar, like, when someone breathes in helium, suddenly they're like Donald the Duck voices. It's fun.
But seriously? A different weapon?
Similar enough, but different.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris.
Except for one!
But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Yeah, honestly, Killer, if you wanted to not be sus, you should have just scrubbed all of them clean.
Huh?
Sorry, not wanted to be obvious. Should have scrubbed all of them clean.
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
Yeah, otherwise it would be too obvious it was the murder weapon. Makes sense?
I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones.
Yeah, giant ones, super teeny tiny ones. Is it just me who finds the, like, the hammer, the one on the bottom right, super cute? It's, like, so tiny. Just imagine holding it. It would be, like, you know, it would be super tiny hammer.
And even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
Or they just took these because it looks like there could be a few missing from, like, the upper row and a few from the lower. So they could have just taken these and repurposed them, like, colored them over to make Justice Hammers. I think that's possible.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Yeah, what else are we supposed to assume? That he was doing this all on his own and then he killed himself, but before he died he washed the hammer? I think him working with someone else makes more sense.
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
Yeah, but Hifumi's a dumbass.
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did, and the way Monokuma said it, it sounded like there is in fact an accomplice involved in this case. At least to me, he just said that there would be no benefit to the killer. He didn't say there was no accomplice, so I think in his own Monokuma way, he kind of confirmed it. And again, Hifumi's a dumbass. He would go along with anything you told him as long as you, I don't know, hugged him or something. He feels like he really needed human contact, which I'm glad no one ever gave him. He didn't deserve it, but he felt like he really needed it. Who knows? We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but we're done sub-debates? Oh god, I'm losing heart so fast with these non-stop debates. Oh god, I need to observe
Based
something.
on the rules that have been laid out for us,
Yeah.
even if more than one person is complicit in the murder,
Yeah.
only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
It's not impossible.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right?
That is true.
In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Okay, I think I know what to do.
Based on the
Maybe.
rules that have been
Even if more than one only the one who actually cares, assuming the rule holds true.
That is something.
But that only really applies if there's 1 murder, right? In this case,
However,
there were 2 murders.
Yes, there were 2 murders.
Based on the rules that
Have been laid out even if more than one only the one who
actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds.
No, that's wrong.
Yes, I'm good! We didn't talk to Ethan this time! That's the first one!
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
Yeah, feasible at least.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been
What do you
one
mean?
murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
They're risking their life for nothing, basically, if only one person can get away.
The payoff for working together, the reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
Yeah.
However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
So for instance, Hifumi killed Kiyotaka and then the culprit killed Hifumi so that, you know, Hifumi wouldn't think he didn't get reward or something. I don't exactly get why the culprit ended up killing Hifumi and didn't just drown them, but... Oh wait, maybe because the killer wanted the money and escape, I guess. I mean, Hifumi's motivation still doesn't make much sense, but sure. Okay, I can see it.
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
It's just bizarre that how then the killer was like, okay, you killed this guy, and then you pretend to be dead, and that's totally gonna make it so that like neither of us gets caught. It's not like people will be surprised when it turns out you're not dead for the class trial. That's the weird part, right? That Hifumi actually agreed to this plan because it sounds so dumb. Again, like, either he's actually dead, so he's dead, or he's not dead, at which point people will find out when he shows up for the class trial. And then it will be like, huh, you're the most suspicious guy because you faked being dead. This is so weird.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents.
Not exactly separate because they both knew about it and planned it together, I guess, but kinda.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies.
Magic.
By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan.
Yeah, picking a very dumb person wasn't hard, I guess. Or easily motivated, both work.
And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Yeah?
Which,
Borderline
if
smart.
true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Yeah, would make sense given, again, if Hifumi's dead body just suddenly wasn't dead and showed up at the class trial, people would find that sus, and then he could very easily snitch on the true culprit.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I have to agree with Byakuya. This plan, I mean, it's fairly obvious who the killer is because I've been saying this since the beginning of this whole mystery. They've been fairly obvious, but other than that, it was not a terribly made plan. It was extremely convoluted, which made it quite hard to understand for a lot of the time. Hifumi being dead but not dead was also very interesting. But yeah, the choice of accomplice is odd. Though I guess like most of these people wouldn't agree to murder, even if it was like, you know, tit for tat. And like, the only people who, I don't know, like, you would think no one would kill it, right? But out of these people, most of them wouldn't kill, it feels like. The Asahina's too buddy-buddy. We know absolutely nothing about Kitty Kitty. Naegi wouldn't because he cannot believe anyone would kill for $10 million, apparently. That's three, right? I mean, Jack might, but maybe only Byakuya because she finds him attractive, and Toko wouldn't because, you know, she can't kill Byakuya, and I don't think she'd kill anyone else because she's squeamish around blood. Who do we have? Byakuya might, but he would be very hard to, like, put into this plan because he would see through the culprit, I feel like. He would be like, this is an insane plan, there's no way this works. Also, why do I have to fake being dead? Who do we have? Yasuhiro. I think Yasuhiro could work, but they tried to set him up as the one who was the actual killer. I don't think Sakura would do it either. I think she could, but again, she's too friendly, I feel like. And Celeste. It could be Celeste. I don't see why not. She's cool, but she, like, so far she was very much adaptability, survivability, so if I have to go along with something to live, I will. I think I'm missing someone, but I think I got most of the people. Oh yeah, Kiyotaka, he's dead. Doesn't matter. Maybe even the person who was killed was important in this, because Kiyotaka and Hifumi had the whole feud over Alter Ego going on, so it would be much easier to get Hifumi on board with killing Kiyotaka than, you know, with anyone else killing anyone else. The effort made to convince us two murders were the same. And that was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. I mean, they are a series of connected events, because even if it was two different killers, it was still one person's plan that both of them are just going along with. So they are connected. It was one plan all along. What they're saying makes no sense. And when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
Yep, we need to find out who the killer is, shockingly enough. And it's honestly not hard to figure out. The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. And the debate up until now, the way the case is unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Yeah, they've been very suspicious for a really long time. And it's really not hard to figure out it was them. Hello.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Yep.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
You have been for a really long time at this point, babe. I love you, I'm really sorry, but you've been suspicious as all heck for a really long time.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
It's not a joke.
A joke? I wonder.
Oh, thank you so much for following Junko.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Yeah, I think that's what you're saying. What we're saying.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him.
I mean, look at it this way. You got to kill him in the end. So, like, you know, when you won that, you got to kill Hifumi in the end. Congrats, my favorite character. And yes, Danganronpa rocks. Yay!
That I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
I like that she's saying the reason I could not be the killer is because if I was the killer, I wouldn't choose him as my accomplice, because have you seen that guy? I absolutely hate him. This is awesome. Also a reminder, when we found Hifumi injured, quote unquote, she was the one who was like, oh my god, Hifumi, are you okay? We need to take you to the nurse's office immediately. It was very obvious she was acting out of character then, but it's just so hilarious, this absolute change in personality.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, There is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
Oh my god, she looks creepy like now. I love her.
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you.
I mean, there was a lot of suspicious behavior other than what you're talking about in regards to Celeste, but yeah, there was something certain that only happened to those two.
Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? Encountering a certain suspicious individual. The paper hidden in Hifumi's pants.
I got it!
Yeah.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Yep.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Yep.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Oh my god, Mr. Tell them, Naegi, I cannot be bothered to explain this. Do all the work for me, Naegi. He's saying, shut it, Naegi. Naegi is literally the one doing most of this because you cannot be bothered and Kirigiri cannot be bothered and no one else has brain cells. So Naegi is the only one doing anything and you're telling him shush. Oh my god, this game is awesome.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Don't worry, I checked the message.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct?
Yeah, and the only people, as you said, the only people ever saw it are the person who we know for a fact was a culprit and the accomplice, and Celeste, who, again, her story was like, I followed him from the first floor to the third floor, during which he didn't see me, and then I peeked into the door, and he hit me with a hammer, but, before he hit me with a hammer, I begged and pled for my life so he didn't kill me, and then I fell unconscious for an hour, but, before I fell unconscious for an hour, I took a picture. In that exact order, that is how she said it. So, her story isn't really good.
And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
Oh yeah, she's also the only one who saw the shadow on the second floor, and the one who confronted the suspicious man on the third floor. I saw a shadow, something moving around the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor.
Oh yeah, she was for some reason on the third floor, even though again we were all searching the second floor.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
Yep.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? Well, that was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Oh yeah? Huh? What was that? They came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. We haven't had this flashback for an hour. I thought it was fine to recap it again.
So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
Yep, so that you would think that the one body discovery announcement covered both bodies.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
That is true, I'm pretty sure she did. Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toku, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
Yes, because there are no chance events. It was one plan all along. Screw Kitty Kitty and your separate incidents.
And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I mean, maybe because she was in the staircase on the 3rd floor and you were all on the 2nd floor, possibly very deep inside the 2nd floor, like very far in, and she wanted to make sure you heard her. That's a reasonable explanation. I mean, you are totally right, but it's a reasonable explanation.
I just realized another strange thing.
Oh, do tell.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
It took a while for the body scar announcement to play.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste,
Before the body
you were the
announcement.
first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Yeah? And she wasn't good at it, trust me. It was very obvious.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom.
And was it your idea to go to the bathroom, or was it her idea to go to the bathroom?
Wait! Then that was...
Letting Hifumi leave, yeah.
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I mean, some pieces, even on their own, are suspicious as all heck. Again, she was very out of character, and her story of, I managed to start him up onto the 3rd floor, and then he saw me and hit me with a hammer, but before that I begged, but so he didn't turn me, and between, being hit and falling unconscious, I took a picture. Still not a very good story, Celeste.
I have no idea what you mean.
Not in the least.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Only one? I feel like there were a lot of them.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that one little slip-up was your undoing.
Oh, you tell. I don't remember what she said that would make her, suspicious in your eyes.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys did. Die.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Was that before she was told that Gyotaka is dead? Because I know that Sakura, Byakuya, and Nagi left the science lab to go tell Hina and Celeste that Taka's dead. And then Celeste ran up to them, was like, no time to talk. Heifumi's body has disappeared. So it's possible that she wasn't told that he's dead yet, so she shouldn't know about it? But that would have been like a really easy slip to miss.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
Yes.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto.
As a reminder, Taka fainted and they left her there to fend for herself, unconscious.
Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
They didn't tell her about him being dead. Good to know, good to know.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
if she said a day, that means she knew more than one person was dead, but if she wasn't told about Taka being dead yet, that means she knew that more than one person was dead even though she wasn't supposed to. So it's like self-incrimination, I guess.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said?
Not everyone. Just Yasuhiro.
If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Miyake said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what could he possibly be talking about? Yeah, don't stop the things! Because now it's dumb, I guess. I need to absorb stuff again.
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated.
You have really good
We are
memory
all
of
going to
knowledge.
die here.
Just like they did.
We are going to die.
Those guys.
Just
here it is.
like those guys.
Guys died. And that is all I said.
And
That is
that's
what he
all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Strange, I agree with strange. Okay. It's strange,
All
but I
I
wanna
said
agree
was...
with. I wanna agree with Byakuya.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused.
Am I
They
supposed
must
to
be
disagree with
positively
Byakuya's comment? I don't
elated.
know what I'm supposed to disagree with right now.
We are all going to die here.
Just like those guys died.
We are going to die.
Just like those, and that is all.
And that's all it takes to finish this.
I guess I need to shoot
What was so
Byakuya?
strange about Celeste's comment?
I don't want to. I agree with him. This makes no sense.
Shoot!
There must be a connection there somewhere. Where the fuck
All
is the
I said
contradiction?
was... They must really be
Oh, I
enjoying
know what I'm
this.
supposed to do.
Enjoying the sight of us. They
I
must be
shooted
positive.
those
We are
guys
all
with
going to die. We are
strange.
going to die. Just, and that is all.
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange
About Celeste's
comment?
I shoot those guys with strange, I think.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die. We are going to die.
Those guys died.
just like
Yes!
No, that's wrong.
Attempt number 2 always works! Unless it doesn't, but attempt number 2 always works!
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
Yeah, no shit.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Oh, he finally realized it.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall.
Yeah, letting Tako's unconscious body to fend for herself.
So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
Because the initial plan was for all 3 of you to go up to tell the people who were up that, hey, Hifumi's dead. But and she rehearsed this line that we're all gonna die just like those guys died. But then Hina was squeamish and someone had to stay with her and it had to be Celeste to make sure that she could, they could leave to chill for a minute so that Hifumi could leave. There were changes she didn't expect, so she stumbled across in her, rehearsed dialogue. Monologue? And that was your failing. You don't know how to improvise, Celeste.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right?
Oh, that is true.
So she could have
also
been
died.
dead too.
I forgot about Kitty Kitty just like everyone did during this whole running around thing.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
Ooh.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw.
Yes. I mean, unless you're claiming that Yasuhiro managed to stuff himself into the costume into the locker inside of the pool, then yes, we are claiming that you're absolutely lying.
Then what about the picture I took?
You mean Transformer hugging Hifumi? She means Transformer hugging
How
Hifumi.
do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
Yep.
So let's put the suit on, and
Nope.
then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
No, that's impossible. We already made sure that everyone that it can that the Robo Justice suit was molded for Yasuhiro's body, so no one other than him can dress up in it.
Have you so quickly forgotten?
Yeah,
You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit.
she's the bad guy, but she's absolutely right.
Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer.
Fair.
In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a
Unassailable?
picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
No, it's an unassailable fact that you weren't in the costume and that you had to take the picture, not that he was being dragged away. Again, to me it looks like Transformer is hugging Hifumi.
If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Because the picture is also a lie. You
Simple.
photoshopped it.
Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
Yep.
No, there is no other explanation.
If you say so. Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi is dragging the suspect away. Hifumi and the suspect have been drinking. I guess this is the one
I
because
got
the
it!
others drinking and dancing are just
It's
dumb.
not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
You got her. She reacted.
That's certainly
A
within the
brand new
realm
officer.
of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around.
Yeah, fair.
And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only reason. Because what's the point of the costume? Like, you can't move in it, so obviously even if Yasuhiro made it, he couldn't have actually done anything in it, and there's no way he made the costume. And it just makes it way too obvious who the culprit is if the culprit is in the costume. And at this point we have decided that the culprit is not in fact the person in the costume, so it's just meant to, bamboozle you. Give you a suspect that is very, very false, but will make you think, yeah, this makes sense, I guess. We already saw the picture after all. Evidence!
If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
Yeah.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing.
Wait. If what I think is going to happen is about to happen, please take off your headphones or just lower the volume. I think she's gonna go batshit crazy.
Is utterly impossible.
Okay, she didn't.
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Okay, she didn't go batshit crazy. Good to know.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Shut your mouth. Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Well, there's no way the suspect was dragging Hifumi away. We just confirmed Hifumi weighs 155 kilos. The only person in this whole school that could have carried away Hifumi would have been Sakura, and I think even she would have struggled. But is that really possible? Nonsense. Robert's costume, Yasuhiro's master Robert's blueprints. I think it's the
You
blueprint.
dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight!
Yeah, that makes sense.
You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright.
Is he?
If the person inside the suit was unconscious,
Wait.
there's no way they could
Stand up straight.
like that.
No, it's the Robo Justice costume I meant to shoot at her. Because we confirmed ourselves thanks to Asaina that you can't bend at waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out!
Robo Justice costume, okay.
Then you just draped me across. You tried to make me look like.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect, if the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they
Could stand up straight.
Yes!
No,
That's how number
it's
2
wrong.
always works. Huzzah!
No.
I think I could have done this on a
Even
10
if
number
the
one,
person
but
inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that.
still. They would have to.
Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
It doesn't bend at the waist. It totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
Or it was intentional so that, you know, she could make this exact point that, oh, if they were unconscious, they would be bent, but because they're not bent, they have to be conscious. That could have been planned. I was just thinking that the blueprint could also show it in, like, the waist piece or the top piece that, like, oh, you can't bend, but I guess this account was what I was supposed to use.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake.
Yeah, I think it was intentional. It could be Monokuma. I mean, you never know. Maybe he killed us. Maybe he killed him.
I think the
Maybe
suit was
he's the killer.
designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
If it was Monokuma, that would be the biggest left field thing ever because we suspect it's one of our classmates, but psych, it was Monokuma all along! Not our beloved headmaster. Ooh, this is a new one.
Celeste and
He's
Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it.
They stuffed him in.
That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty obvious. Okay, fair warning, she might go back to that any moment. I genuinely don't know when. So, again, fair warning for anyone with headphones or with their volume, like, high, I guess.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
I don't think she'll go down without a fight.
Checkmate?
I think she's about to go batshit. Again, warning. I don't know for a fact. Again, haven't played this game, but I think she is.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Oh, that wasn't too loud. I was suspecting it would be louder. But yeah, she is going batshit.
Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
You're guilty. Let's judge her already. We need majority consensus, not everyone consensus.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Ah. I know where she's going with this, and I know how we're supposed to solve it. Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we
When
asked
that-
him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
But he didn't say Hagakure, did he?
Wait! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
I'm sure it is. Show me your ID and driver's license.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
I mean, she's just questioning how a 100% pure Japanese person has the name of Celestia Ludenberg. I think that's what she's saying. It's not a wild statement to make. That was Naigi's first question when he met her. Is your name Celestia Ludenberg? Because you're obviously 100% Japanese. Just a thought.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Oh god, he's dumb again.
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He gave everyone a nickname. He has said people's last names. But I have no clue. I don't think he made nicknames and he didn't say for serious. I guess it has to be this one.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Wait, is Yasuhiro's last name Hagakure? God, English and Japanese confuse me. I don't know which one is which because this is an original Japanese game, so I have to assume, like, if I'm not sure, I just assume they use the Japanese one, that like the surname is first and then is the name. But apparently they did go with the English version of first is the name, then is the surname, and I guess that confuses me because I to this day don't know what the fuck Hagakure's first and last names are. I know everyone else, just Hagakure confuses me.
Exactly.
Okay, so
I know I
Yasuhiro
heard him
is
say
his
Mr.
first
Naegi
name.
more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Ooh,
Don't talk.
Jack. Talk more, Jack. I love you.
Random
She hasn't
chance.
talked in a while
Now,
now.
isn't that a convenient explanation?
Yeah.
No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal.
Yeah, fair enough. When you're dying, you don't think like, oh, how can I make this as convoluted as possible? You just say the first thing that comes to mind.
But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
Most likely.
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Does it not? 100% Japanese Celestia Ludenberg?
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to,
The mastermind!
and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say?
Oh, now she's pissed.
To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
Spit at him! Spit at him! He deserves it.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you?
At this current point in time, yes, you do. And a sore loser at that.
Well, do I?
A very sore loser.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
A little? Lady! You're falling apart. You're going insane. Have you seen yourself? Your expression?
Okay, then fill us in.
God.
What's your real name?
She's gonna keep insisting on Celestia Ludenberg.
Fine! Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Once you start telling us the truth, Cel still won't give up. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it. Oh god, I'm gonna die here. Oh, it's a non-stop debate! I'm gonna die nonetheless, but I didn't think it would be the non-stop debate.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something.
Yeah, thank you, Kirigiri-san, for this idea.
He wanted us to know the killer's last name. Yasuhiro.
Yes.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
Oh, that one's upside down.
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth.
Is it though?
And since you have no way to
Oh, wait, I do
contradict me,
actually.
No,
that's
that's
wrong.
wrong.
Yes! We're getting to the finale, I think.
That's it. The handbook.
Thanks for advice, Kirigiri-san.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right?
I mean, I still think it's weird that if I open my student handbook and I go to a report card, it shows her as Celestia Ludenberg, Celeste. Which I think is weird if that's Ellen Celestia Ludenberg as the name, right? Which I think is weird for the student handbook to have if that isn't her real name. Unless the users include the, like, info on the people themselves, which I guess is possible. It's just weird. And 46 kilos is super weird. Get 164 centimeters and 46 kilos? She should be much heavier than this. That sounds so underweight. Like, I'm 164 and I know I should have like at least 60 kilos. Or like, I should be around 60 kilos, so... She should be at least 10 kilos heavier. That's got to be underweight. How did I get to this point again? Oh yeah, her name! It's just weird that her name is shown as Celestia Ludenberg if that's not her real name in the handbook.
Monokuma told us all about it before.
Oh, that was long ago.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't move it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. No, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's
Yeah,
how we can
reasonable.
find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
If you refuse to cooperate, that's your right, but we will have to just assume you're guilty.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Why would you do that?
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
I mean, you're gonna lose.
Fine then.
I can tell you that.
Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning.
Oh god, I'm not good
and
at
shed
this
light
part
on
either.
all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
I'm not good at this part either. Closing argument. I always misplace like 1 or 2 spots here. 50. Okay, I think this has gotta be it. Mr. P. Just after 1 a.m. or around 1 a.m. No blood. No blood, no picture. It's possible. Let's leave this one empty for now and see. What do we have here? Justice Robo. Yeah, I think here we have the culprit with the camera. Oopsie. Next one is just after 6. So there's the other time one. This is the wrong time. Okay, so it's not this one, I guess. Justice Hammer 2, but this one has blood. Justice Hammer 2 is the wrong one. This one has blood but nothing. This is Nagokura, so you shouldn't. I need to skip this one as well. I don't know what to put here. He's dead. Tarp, Justice Hammer 4. That will be this one. Yeah, Justice Hammer 4. Justice Hammer 2, I'm pretty sure. Right over here, then we go to the nurse's office. He's bloody. Justice Hammer 3 should also be here. Yeah. Then one group discovered this, second group discovered this. He goes here. This is him with the tarp. Doggy. And this is the empty hammer. With no justice or whatever. Okay, so we're missing just 2 spots. This should be fine. Oh, I have 17 minutes. That's good. That's good that I have a lot of time for this. Okay, I think I want to put the Yasuhiro over here. Because I don't know what else to put there. And what do I have left for this one? I have this skull, which is from the first trial, that's meaningless. I have potato chips, which I feel like are meaningless. I have the clock. I have a backpack. And I have this. He was killed at about 6, so this clock is wrong. So I guess this is it, because I can't honestly think of anything else to put there.
Here's exactly what happened.
I could be wrong. I have no clue with like...
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder.
Fair,
and that
but
person
it could be
was...
wrong. Oh, I didn't see the comment. Yeah, I will obviously love it for me after this. Sure. Yeah, they struck a deal.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Oh, this music is awesome.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro.
Ooh.
The murderous
Oh,
duo
correct.
intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit.
Oh no, he was stuffed.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him,
The art on this one is really good. I like the picture of Hifumi being strangled.
while the killer used a
Robo
digital
Justice.
camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker.
Yeah, poor guy was in a costume and a locker in a pool. Okay, fine. No, I didn't lay out my reasoning right. I need to rearrange the events of the case. So it's supposed to be this one, but it was supposed to be 6. And this isn't 6. Oh wait, it is. It's just slightly turned. Oh god. Right, this... Okay, no, yeah, this is 6. This is right on the side, so this means this is 6. I thought that this was the top, and there would be like after 7. Okay. That would make sense. They just showed it at a weird angle and that confused
Here's
me.
exactly what happened.
Yeah. That was confusion.
And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan.
Murder!
They called Taka to the equipment room.
Oh god. He looks so bad.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Uh-huh. He was full of Justice Hammer 4.
The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect.
Fair, fair.
The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story.
I like the idea that, oh, fake evidence number 1, Justice Hammer 1. Fake evidence number 2, Justice Hammer number 2. Fake evidence number 3, injured Hifumi. He's nothing but a piece of evidence at this point, Your Honor.
With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds. That the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office.
It was a good plan. It was just a bit too convoluted. As you, like, obviously some stuff went wrong, like Asahina not wanting to leave the nurse's office. That's, I think, what got Celes really confused with the whole, she isn't actually supposed to know about Kiyotaka's dead body thing. But other than that, it was a pretty good plan. It was very complicated, so it was very hard to find out. And if Hifumi didn't mess around with the blood in his glasses, it might have been even impossible, because that was pretty much the solidifying evidence we had. Or if you know, he threw away the paper instead of putting it into his underwear. That was also a piece of evidence we used for him being the accomplice. So if those 2 things didn't happen, it was a really good plan. It was just, because it was too complicated, the more complicated something is, the more steps it has, the more likely it is for any one of those steps to not go well, or for like one tiny thing to go wrong. And the more steps the plan has, the more often those things happen, and the more they like compound on each other. And I think that's what happened, right? That this was a really good plan, but it was so complicated that too many small things went wrong, right? Asahina didn't want to leave the nurse's office. Hifumi put blood on his glasses and then he had to remove it. Hifumi stuffed the letter into his underwear instead of throwing it away. The handwriting on the Robojustice blueprints was wrong. It wasn't as neat as Yasuhiro's. If any of those things didn't happen, or if just like one or two less happened, this would be a much less solid case against Celeste. But yeah, it was just a very complicated plan, so a lot of things went wrong, logically. But honestly, if we didn't figure this out and Celeste got out, I could see that happening. Like, without Kirigiri, they weren't solving this, let's be honest.
This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He
The
took a
magical
blood
girl
packet from the
transformation
refrigerator
sound.
and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered.
Poor guy, brutally murdered 2 times.
He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi.
Wait, let's ignore this whole recap thing for now. Does anyone else see Asahina's hair? Because Asahina's hair is insane right now. That's gonna be like, I don't know, like a solid 20-30 centimeters tall? What the fuck is going up with that? You need a lot of hairspray to keep that shit up. Oh my god. Hair is insane.
We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape.
I like the picture of him.
When we
putting his
learned his
teeth.
body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again,
saw him disappear.
Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared.
Yeah. He's a puppy wagging
But
his
even
tail.
Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act.
It wasn't hard to figure out.
Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them.
Yeah.
And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository.
I mean, I wouldn't call it an everyday hammer. I, for instance, do not use a hammer every day. I don't think... Yeah, I sure as heck don't use a hammer every day, but I get your point. It was not a justice hammer, is what he means.
That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celestia Ludenberg. Ooh, flowers. Is he proposing to her? And then they kissed.
Celeste!
This is
Sorry,
from a shoujo.
you lose.
This art is just straight from a shoujo manga. You cannot tell me otherwise. What the heck? This is how you propose to someone. Not accuse them of being a murderer.
Lost?
Yes, you did.
I lost?
Yes.
When was the last time I was forced to utter such words?
Presumably never.
They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
No.
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no.
Ooh.
Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Yasuhiro Taeko.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
She dropped the accent. Holy heck. I don't know, do I like her accent more than this one? Because I kind of like the whole, you know what, fuck all of you. You got me, why the fuck should I argue anymore? Screw all of you, let's get to the execution. I like that attitude, and the voice reflects it, that she's just like, you know what, I'm dropping all pretenses, let's get down to it. You got me.
Interesting.
I've only got one line without the accent. It was so good too. There's a lot of beat in this chapter. I really didn't do well. Oh my god! Yay! That's great! And I did
Okay,
really play
Monokuma.
too.
I'm ready to begin.
Oh my, I love her.
Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
Oh, this is sad.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay.
We must vote.
If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Not my bestie. I don't want her dying. I didn't even complete all of her, story and secrets because she hated my presence too much. I am sadness. I am greatly saddened. Alright, I don't need to click. Okay.
What?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The blackened this time, the true killer who deceived the whole stinking scheme, who devised the whole stinking scheme was the Celestial Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taeko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. You know what? I could see Monokuma doing that at one point. I guess trying to work with someone who wasn't... I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan? But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would be happy. He would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her speciality. Lying. My speciality? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, You don't have to keep alter ego hidden. We mentioned alter ego at least once during the investigation, and we mentioned alter ego like right at the beginning of the trial. If Monokuma doesn't know about alter ego yet, he's deaf and stupid. Like, Naegi isn't exactly subtle about this shit. I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the only thing Hifumi and Tako are both super into. Is she talking about alter ego? Again, Naegi mentioned it at the beginning of the trial. It's not a secret anymore. Once you say it out loud in front of the bear is gonna know about it.
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. Yeah, don't interrupt, Headmaster. Giddy is talking. Totally out of the loop as usual. Oh, sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one who stole You're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night after we had our meeting about how I disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
are you okay with
It was
this?
Taka. He stole it.
Yeah! What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found use for the digital camera. I taken, Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? He was supposed to yell if either of us got closer. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say.
Oh, this is so bad.
He abused me.
Oh god.
What?
So bad.
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone.
This is so bad. Oh, shit. Look, I know he became a bit more of a hooligan compared to the straight moral compass than he was before after, you know, he fusioned with Mundo's ghost or something, but she's accusing him of something so terrible. Oh my goodness. I can't even say it. This is so bad.
So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime. An absolute crime. It is the crime. That's why it's so bad she's accusing him of it. Like, it certainly happens these sort of situations, but she's admitting she made it up. That's terrible.
I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life.
I'm
going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka is going to try to kill you.
You know what? This isn't a bad scheme on her part. I mean, again, the stuff she's accusing Taka of doing is horrendous, but other than that, her scheme to get Hifumi to kill Taka is really good.
indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself.
That
This
bastard!
completely unforgivable!
Yeah, basically.
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with those barbaric acts? Absolutely not! How could I? She...
I swear,
I
I will save her!
actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing.
Her plan has been complete.
Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The fact that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. That is my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid.
huh?
That's a good one. Why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. He's honest about it, and yes, he is stupid. That's it.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry. I feel like he doesn't understand that she's insulting him.
Well,
But when you were explaining your part to Hifumi, how did you explain that part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, how was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live? Yeah, I don't get that part either, right? Like, if he shows up at the trial, everyone will know he's not dead. That's sus.
Are you okay with this?
But simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded, he was on the verge of death, but he had just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course, that wasn't... Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while we were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it.
It all seems very straightforward. Stereotypical.
I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it all up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along. Obviously, leave no witnesses behind. But of course, there would have been no point in my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can a human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
I just don't like Byakuya. Again, reminder, in chapter 2 when Byakuya was like, this is the game, whatever, I don't exactly remember, she was like, yeah, he makes sense. So, she's not just starting to sound like Byakuya, she agreed with him from the get-go. This isn't a new revelation.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that respect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Is it really just for money?
Hmm.
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. It is a lot of money. No, that's not all there is to it. From the moment our escape, our new life here begun, my only thought has been escape.
But
But how long you've been saying how we have to accept living here? She was faking it, obviously.
You little
Obviously,
bitch.
that was a little lie. Yeah! Hey, welcome back, Trello!
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little
I wanted to
bitch.
get out every day. It was a fresh torture. And do you want to know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butler/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfect aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life, there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got it right to the edge, but...
There is nothing to be done.
Unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sounded so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it? Friends is a strong word.
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding. Yeah, you can't think that everyone has your same morality, even though it's wrong to kill someone. Not everyone thinks that. It's dangerous to assume everyone's morality is the same.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled. I take pride in it. It's not just other people. I can even feel my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice then...
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back again as Marie Antoinette.
hey,
You get executed again. Yeah, but she lived the high life, kinda. And she had a fancy death, I guess. Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but the statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
At
Ask Monokuma. You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling! The black and disrupted piece that must pay the price!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Okay, I do this every time, so I'm gonna do it again, because I think I should. Warning! The execution of Celestia Ludenberg is about to happen. If you're squeamish, don't want to see it, just close this stream for like a minute. After that, it should be done. Maybe 2 if you want to be on the safe side. I have absolutely no issue if you leaving. If you feel like you don't want to watch this, you are more than welcome to. I will continue this game next Monday. I think that's all the prefix I wanted to say, so I'm going to get to it. If you're still here, enjoy. I guess that's the word for this.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to
I
this.
guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to these.
What?
What's this?
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way.
I mean, yeah, I just feel better if I give the warning ahead of
Which
time.
is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
In another life! Salutations! Honestly, I really like burning of the Versailles Witch. That's her execution. There's apparently symbolism in this, and I normally don't like symbolism, but I do like it here. There's not really much sound though. And I don't know if that's intentional or not. I tried putting it higher for you guys, but we'll see. Splat. It's kind of short now that I look at it, but again, I like the symbolism quite a bit. If you don't know, I'm pretty sure I watched this somewhere. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's, I haven't noticed the comment. You know why the fire truck came in instead of just burning it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched an analysis video on this or something that explained it, or at least like a theory on it. It's because Celestia Ludenberg wanted to live like a fancy life and hated, you know, being Taeko Yasuhiro and being just a plain Japanese girl, and hated the fact her favorite food is gyoza. And she wished to reincarnate as Marie Antoinette if she could. So it's because burning would be like a really fancy death. Not fancy, but like extravagant. And being hit by a car is super basic. Super basic. Being hit by a car is something that happens very commonly, so it's a common death. So, basically her being burned would have been painful, but it would have given her the hope that yes, in my last moment, I get to have like this glorious death. And then there's the despair of just getting hit by a fire truck. So I'm pretty sure that's it. And I think the burning of the Versailles Witch, the naming could be because she said that if she could, she would reincarnate as Marie Antoinette. And don't cite me on this. I don't remember my French history much, but there's a castle in Versailles, and I think there may be where Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI, that was her husband, lived. Again, can't say for a fact, but I think that like the palace there that belonged to the royal family at the time. So even if they didn't live there, they owned it. So I think that could be why it's named Burning of the Versailles Witch. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but she killed one of your friends. And he killed the other, so it's not all on her. I mean, yes, it was her plan, but she only killed one person. She's fine. I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Oh yes, she is! It's not Jack anymore! I guess she sneezed. But it would have had to be after the execution, or maybe not. Because Toko faints when she sees blood, but not, there wasn't any blood in this execution, so I guess you could have seen the execution as well. Huh. Good catch. I didn't notice it was Toko though. I thought it was Jack. Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free from their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young! You need to place more value in your lives!
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it away in the trash. You can just let me get out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiments of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but the reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
Oh, and I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste.
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine. What did you do? What did you do to me?
Who?
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body? Ooh, kinky.
Ooh, how exciting.
Oh, wow. Oh, man, oh, jeez, oh, man, oh, jeez. What do you mean? What did I do? Oh, I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind is something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kinda awkward. I think it's about time they get out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. No, not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
Bye-bye, Headmaster. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although, it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but... what's that key that Celeste gave you? Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? That means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easier to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
indeed.
Good idea. I need Kirigiri Byakuya or Sakura to die because I have the almost exact same voice for them and I don't know what to do with it. I need one of them to die real soon. This is getting confusing. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Hey, why exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she quickly glanced at the surveillance camera. Yeah, the headmaster would get sus, wouldn't he, if all of us went to the bathhouse again? All together.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go out to the dining hall, okay? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together?
Get your mind out of the gutter, Hasahina. Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a low backbone. Someone cancel Asahina. Cancel on Twitter.
I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Yeah,
So then,
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Salas had given us and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw...
You really came.
good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, since like yesterday? It's safe, thank goodness. I've never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart.
I just did what Salas asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
So,
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please just wait a while longer.
So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
you.
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
what?
Worried. Like, what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Look, you weren't concerned with her. You were concerned with her for like 5 milliseconds, and then Celis was like, oh, shadow! And then you were like, look at the shadow! And no one noticed she was gone for another 30 minutes. Okay, you weren't worried about her, trust me. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy. And you too. Byakuya does. Everyone else is in denial. No. I believe in you.
What?
Yeah, and I get the fucking dumbass that is like $10 million who could possibly kill for money. I'm pretty sure if you Google it, okay, I wouldn't say it's the most common, but money has gotta be a big incentive why people kill each other, right? Like money, love, you know, jealousy, whatever, greed. Greed is money. It's gotta be certainly a really big reason why people kill each other. So Naegi's a dumbass. Don't trust a single word he says. He's dumb. I mean, I guess it's nice for Kirigiri, but he's dumb. You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends. Naegi Makoto, the person who befriends everyone inside a killing game. Round of applause. I'm trying to clap. Round of applause for him. That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. And then,
That's fine.
fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see. End of chapter 3! Or not. What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own 2 eyes. So I waited for nighttime to come. Oh my god, he waited for nighttime to come and then did something. Naegi Makoto! You, the person who has not left his room a single nighttime because of the stupid arbitrary rule that you idiots put in place that, oh, let them leave after nighttime. You are leaving! How the fuck is that not gonna be suspicious for the mastermind? I really want to drink right now. It doesn't really do much for me, it just makes me sleepy, but sleep is better than dealing with Naegi. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back. She said way in the... way in the back of the boys' bathroom. Why am I saying this out loud? Even if the headmaster, mastermind, whatever, doesn't see you on the cameras and doesn't find it suspicious, they can hear you talking! The cameras have microphones! Oh my god, he's stupid. Could Gyoko really be right about this? Boys' bathroom versus this one because sexism and skirts. Way back in the back, way back, will be this green door. It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Gyoko told me about couldn't really be hidden here. Let's try checking. She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet. And suddenly, as if I were being yanked in. Kashuk! At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Ba-boom! I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door, and I made my way to the other side, just like Yoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom, yeah, there's a storage closet. Back of the closet, there's a secret room. Been there, done that. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? A lot of papers. There's a bunch of files and what looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Post-Peak Academy Student Registry? This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking through it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file, and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Ah! Careful, Nagi! You know what? I think I might have been right when I said, hey, Nagi, if you leave after nighttime when you never do that, it's sus. Or hey, Nagi, if you say this shit out loud that the mastermind can totally hear, it's really sus. I think the mastermind got him. Mastermind, I cannot thank you enough. You have fulfilled my dream that I have since chapter 1 of someone finally killing Nagi. I am grateful. Thank you very much. I mean, I don't think he's dead. Because, you know, strange sound rang out through my head. But it was so close! I feel like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. Yeah. Have a good time. Or good night, I don't know. I hope you join us next time. Curse you, Nagi, you're supposed to be dead. Bye-bye. I don't know how long it had been. Oh. Apparently someone hit me and I lost my consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. Am I supposed to look at the files being missing? An empty bookshelf. Empty? Gone. It's all gone! The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body, and he's unconscious again. You're a great sleeping beauty, Nagi. For now, I should go back to my room. Get some rest. Great sleeping beauty. My My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thoughts. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. The further I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. I can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint, but undeniable. That sound... It's coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. I'm not reading these, they're just all like hits happening, I guess. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym? Yeah, gym. I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Pata Bakuri! Ooh! Not the fancy shot. Before me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No, one side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing?
Fighting with you, Headmaster. And you should kill her because violence against the Headmaster is strictly prohibited, as we all know.
I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
Ooh, part of the deal. The deal.
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Do it!
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you?
I like Take's distorted vision, because he's half unconscious.
What I'm holding hostage?
Hostage? What am I looking at? What am I hearing? Hostage? Could it be the mastermind spies? Sakura herself! Chapter 3, the next Generation Legend, Stand Tall Galactic Hero. Oh god, that was the title. And then there were 7. Yay, to be continued! We got through this chapter! After a really long time. Here see the Super Robo Justice present. Yeah, let's save the data. And let's go to sleep. I'm gonna end here. It's been... Oh god, this stream has been going on for over 3 hours. It's been a long time, and I have to wake up really early tomorrow. So, thanks so much for joining, and see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Not today's Wednesday. I don't stream tomorrow. See you on Saturday! And if you're here for Danganronpa, I'll be continuing that on Monday next week. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy this. I share as I did. If you're not following me, I would recommend doing so. It sends out an alert if, you know, you're a follower, so you can see when I continue this game. It will be in the title. And I guess that's it. So, again, hope you enjoyed this. I did. It was fun. And, yeah, have a good day or night, whichever it is. And bye-bye. See you next time.